You're watching Rock Shop Live, brought to you by Stewart Travel Guitars. See the incredible stowaway travel guitar at stewartguitars.com. Microphones for Rock Shop Live are provided by Rode Microphones. Now, for Music Gear Network, here's your host, guitarist Eric Broadbent.
Hey everyone, happy Friday to you all. Welcome to the first premiere edition of Rock Shop Live here on Music Gear Network. Man, oh man, this has been something in the works for almost forever. And forgive me tonight if I'm a little giddy and all over the place, because we're full of emotion here in the household here in the Broadstash family or the Broadbent family. I'm going to jump over to the chat and say hi to all these awesome people here who have made this channel what it is. We're going on our 4th year and very emotional here tonight, so I'm going to probably be all over the place, but a big thing here, and I got to give credit where credit is due here. I got to credit Sandra Lee here, Nocturnal Butterfly or Butterfly and Ladybug Show, however you know her, my beautiful better half here, and obviously my son Eric Jr. as well too, for the support that he continues. Like this, we are a YouTube family, and I'm going to kind of take you through all the origin story of the channel and how the channel started, in the different directions and all that kind of fun stuff tonight. It's been baby step, baby step, baby step, baby step. And if I can give any piece of advice to someone jumping into this game, into the avenue of doing YouTube for the long haul, for a career or for passion, for fun, for a hobby, whatever your goal is, I certainly don't encourage you to jump into it for a career. It can become a career. It depends on how much work you want to put into it. But I want to share, everything that's kind of happened here for us. And it's, I think this step we've taken right now is the biggest thing we've ever done. But that all goes back to Sandra Lee. She's been pushing me almost from very day one. And I have a fly on my ring light, which is kind of funny. If you see a big shadow, it looks like kind of like a creature from the Black Lagoon flying on my forehead. That's just a shadow of a fly on my ring light. So don't worry about that. But yes, Sandra Lee's been pushing for this for a very, very long time. And I am one of the most blessed males on the planet, individuals on the planet, we'll say, because of the support I have here at home. So, and I also have tremendous support from you folks here, guys and girls. And I want to just say this in case we have new fans that jump into the chat that are the ladies. And if I say guys, thank you guys, I mean that general. Please don't take that in a inflammatory way or defamatory way. I just say guys. I just a group. That's how I refer to the group of people. So let's go over and say hi to this group of people right now. Earlier in the chat we had Grease Monkey Guitars here. Brian Stewart is here. They're doing a phenomenal thing. Brian and Dave over on Livewires. Very proud of those guys. I think they've got 4 episodes or 3 episodes under their belt, and the 4th one I saw a reminder coming up. So fantastic. Chlorine Baconskin here is a longtime supporter, one of the OG fans of the channel here, and I'm blessed to have Chlorine jump in here. It's in different time zones for Chlorine as well too. So folks, no matter where you are on this planet that we live on, whether you're in North America, different time zones in North America, across the world, it's just nice to have the support. And I know not everyone can tune in when we're live. We have our shows that are scheduled on the regular intervals, but there's a lot of crazy things in between, right? It's like, okay, he's live again, so it's nice when people get to tune into these things. But even when you don't, we always feel your support. Wally in the box is here. Guitar Hack is here. I'm so proud of Guitar Hack for what he's doing right now. He's on that cusp of 1,000 subscribers, and that's a big ass milestone. 1,000 subscribers. He's getting close. I think he's somewhere around 150 away. So if you're new here, you haven't followed Guitar Hack, he's got one of the coolest channels on the planet. The turnout for his shows is phenomenal. If you're new and you haven't seen Hack, please click on his profile there and go subscribe to him. Let's get him to 1,000 and have a great celebration with him. It's so weird seeing my name in the chat, Music Gear Network. It's just so weird. I had this long name that was like 27 syllables for the longest time. EVH Gear Discussion, EVH Gear TV, EVH and Gear TV, EVH hyphen, all this stuff. It's crazy. I'm kind of joking here a little bit, and I'm probably going to be doing this a lot tonight. Why am I doing this? Well, maybe to catch that fly that landed on my ring light. There he goes. Okay. I'm coming for you. I am. Okay. Anyways, let's continue on. Oh, you're going to be the bane of my existence tonight. Got him. Okay, he's gone. Okay, so anyways, hands are good. RJ the Mad One is here. Wow, first time in a couple months I've been home this early to watch the live show. Chlorine Bacon's getting a nice one, mad one. Scott Connor, 3 thumbs down before the video even starts. I see the children haven't grown up. Hey, that's good. I'll take the thumbs down because the people that I see some super chats coming in here as well too, and I have to get to those in just a moment. I won't forget them. I'm seeing them on my screen there, what you're seeing on YouTube land before I'm seeing them here. So I will come back to them. I see Matt Krill and Brad Miller, and I can't read the comments yet for a second, but I will jump to the comments. Thank you, gentlemen. You are such an honor to have you as friends and fans, and I will read your comments on the super chats in just a moment as well too. But the thing, with the thumbs down, who cares? I really don't care. It's funny because a lot of people think sometimes will subscribe just so they get a notification that I'm live or we are live, as in, us content creators. If there's people, that thumb you down, take that as a compliment and ride that like a trophy, like your first bowling trophy or your hockey trophy. When you get your first thumbs down, you've done something well, right? You're striking a nerve, you're getting under the fingernails of somebody. So 2 thumbs down, 3 thumbs down, 4 thumbs down, 15 thumbs down. We'll show you lots of thumbs down tonight on one of my videos. But you know what? Take that as a badge of honor because they're putting you into other people's recommended videos by doing that, because they're showing that there's more humans out there as well too, not this robotic kind of algorithms. And if you see me looking off to the screen, I'm just waiting for text messages to come in as well too. That's a monitoring system I watch here. So yes, so don't worry about that. Continue on. James from Ottawa, VA 3JPX. I'll just call him JPX. That's my good friend James. James and I go way, way back, long before YouTube was even a thing. If you've heard me play the song on here a couple times on my channel called, and I should back up and say our channel, and our channel as in the family, and this is our channel here as the group and the family here on YouTube. We all share this fun stuff here on the channel. James and I go way back before YouTube was even an invention. And it's long before the first video, Day at the Zoo, or whatever that video was. James and I have been friends. He followed the band, become friends with them. And he used to run a really cool kind of radio, like a radio show, and use one of my songs, The Power. And that was very, very cool to have that featured on his show. And we've been friends ever since. And it's, I don't forget things like that. It's awesome. Continue on. Paulie Diaz here says, made it. And I always used to say JPEG 2, but I think it's JP page 2. That must be you in the silhouette of the Rock Shop logo. And it's going to take me a while getting used to saying that name too. Rock Shop Live. It kind of is and it kind of isn't. There's a picture. I don't think too many of you have seen this, but there's a picture of me playing this one festival. It was at an airport called Rockstock, and Sandra Lee took the picture, and it was me with my head back. It was a cool, very cool photo. And this vector image of this rock and roll musician looked exactly like my silhouette. So, of course, I adopted that. So very, very cool. So, yes, that's kind of the answer to that. I kind of want to kind of put me into the logo a little bit. And we'll talk about as we get into the origins here tonight, we'll talk about where Rock Shop came from, right? So many different things here, but so many things are still going to be the same too. It's one of those things where it's change, but there's comfort zones for everybody too. So don't be alarmed if you're one of the old diehards, like the Chlorines and all these other people that have been here since like day one. And sometimes, change is bad. It's not a lot of change, but there is some change. But there's enough comfort stuff for everyone that's used to all that good stuff to remain here as viewers of the channel. Let's continue on, and I'm gonna work overtime tonight to try and read this chat really, really good, because tonight is one of the most important nights in my life as far as a YouTube content creator and as a musician and things like that as well too. And I really want to do a good job for you guys and girls, because I'm not starting over. It's not a clean slate. It's nothing like that. But I've always said this before too, that I work like I'm always interviewing for the job. I really, really do. And I want to continue to work even harder now, because now I'm flipping things upside down, turning them on their heads, all that kind of cool stuff. And I've got a lot to prove to you. And I am going to do that over the next weeks and months and years. And I do say years because we are in this for the long haul. So hang on. And I promise you, we're going to do some really cool stuff and make it worthy of your 60, 90, minutes of your time on weekends and all that kind of cool stuff on weekdays. So hang in there. Matt Krill is here. Thank you, Matt. Matt's a great supporter on a lot of our platforms here on the what used to be the EVH show. And that's going to be weird not saying that name anymore. Eddie Van Halen fan for life. I love the man to death. And his guitar playing is in my blood. So that's never going away, nor is the Van Halen content. We'll talk about that as well, too. But Matt's a great supporter on many platforms. Six String Brian Cote, another great YouTuber. Starting out here in Canada as well, building a nice following, and it has become a friend. And it's so cool to, we see these people that we don't know if they're overseas or in England, they're in Japan, they're in Kentucky, they're in Canada. It's so funny, meeting some of these people. They're just down the street from me in some cases. Brian and Hack, Jason Seditis, over in the Helix community. It's so cool putting all these little pinpoints on the maps and finding out we're actually closer than we think. Another great channel. I'm not one of these guys that will ever promote sub for sub, and I don't even like saying that word. It'll probably get me blacklisted on YouTube just saying those words. I don't want to just say go blank subscribe to everybody here on the list, but check out some of these people. I highly encourage you to check out all the people. Every person you see here on the YouTube channel, click on their name, or in the chat, I should say. Go look at their channel. If it looks inviting to you, subscribe to them. If it doesn't, well, maybe it's not for you today. Maybe give them another shot tomorrow. But I don't want to just say, go subscribe to everybody. But check out Brian. Check out everybody here in the list and have a look, see what their channel offers for you. And subscribe. And if you're new here and haven't subscribed to me, consider giving me a subscription as well. Hit that subscribe button. But don't just do it because I'm saying to do it. Watch the show. Maybe watch some of my other videos. Pick 3 or 4 of them. Skip through them. See what you think of them. If you don't like them, go on to the next one, right? Or the next YouTube channel. Subscribe to them. But again, remember, I'm always interviewing, okay? So I'll be always working like I'm interviewing for the job. And I haven't had coffee. I'm not hyper. I'm just hyper by normal. So Gary Tholander is here. Nice to see you, Gary. Scott Connor. And I scrolled too fast and the chat jumped. Okay, so this is a perfect opportunity for me to come back around and say thank you for the super chats. R2R3 Locking Nut, $2 super chat says, cool, thank you so very, very much. Great seeing you on Live Wires the other night. That was fantastic. Wednesday night, I think it was, 2 nights back. Fantastic. And I am going to come back around and continue with the chat, but this is a good way for me to come backwards. Brad Miller's here. Wanted to be the first super chat on the new name. Thank you so much. So very, very much. I think it was almost a tie between you and Matt Creel. So thank you, gentlemen. I'm blessed. Thank you. And I'll try not to talk with the hands too much. I'm a French Canadian. So I shouldn't say we French people. I inherited that gene from my mother. But the French, they talk with the hands, up in the Nord with the badass tones, that kind of stuff, right? All right, let's circle back. And yeah, I'm hyper as hell because I'm excited. I'm really excited. All right, so we're back to Gary Tholander, Scott Connor, Scott Roos is here, Garry Davlin. I'm seeing a lot of names of their OG fans of the show, and I really want to thank you. It's just so cool to see these names that have been here for so long. 2016 is when I started this thing, and we're going to get into the origins very, very soon. And speaking of origins, Carlo Santin, I haven't seen him for a while. He may be here. He's one of our moderators, good Canadian friend. He does a really cool origin show on YouTube as well, too. And I'm way behind on his episodes, but the first few that I caught, half a dozen, I was hooked on that stuff. And he's like the origins of certain words, and we can all learn some new things from that. It's kind of like an easy way to learn new stuff. You know what I mean? Like none of us want to sit down and read books. Well, yes, some of us do. I don't. I like to get the digest of stuff. And Carlos, origins of words were great. It's like, okay, where'd the Hawaiian pizza come from? Boom, get it right there from his channel. So check that out. Okay, and I might have missed another super. Oh, I think I got them all. I'm just gonna message back to Nocturnal here. She is the best. Okay, awesome. She really, really is. I get production notes from her sent to me all night long. So really, not only what she does in the physical real world, sending me stuff throughout the evening as well, too. It's great. And their show is, I'm just loving their show to death. Between her and Leanne Butterfly and Ladybug, the Butterfly and Ladybug show. And of course, they bring on their regular guests like Scott Connor, Mark Taylor, Quentin James, sometimes others. A phenomenal, funny show. It kind of lets your hair down, and it's not safe for work. I mean, there's no nudity there's a little bit of profanity, but it's age restricted, so you can jump in there, put your headphones in at work, and listen to some foul language. It's a lot of fun. Rob F is here, a family member as well too. Thanks so much for joining, buddy. Jim Dales, good evening, everyone. Jim Dale's been a long-time supporter. Let me see here. Rick Hefner is here. Continue on, of course. Butterfly and Ladybug show. JJ Collins is here. Other names again too that are synonymous with the start of this onset of what became what it is today. So thank you so very much. Paulie D's back. Let me see. Continue on. The Desk Chicken. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Congrats, Rick. Been following since the start and happy to see what a monster this has all grown into. Thank you. Thank you. There's more French Canadian talking with my hands again. It is what it is. I'm sure I can get a pass tonight, right? Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Monster guitar player too, so thank you for your support. I feel like I'm doing like a milestone subscriber thing tonight, but you know what? This is a milestone. And I've been down that rabbit hole as well too, focusing on numbers. Here's another thing, guys and girls. I'll say the guys thing again because that's just my blanket statement to everybody. That's my friends, guys. And again, I hope that doesn't offend you. Don't focus on numbers. I mean, we're nice and fortunate here with the subscriber count that we have. There's YouTube channels that make us look like a tiny little speck in the dust, and there's other ones that are smaller as well too. But focus on your content. Focus on your content, and it's like for the musicians in the chat, which is probably about 98% of the people here. Here's how I'm going to relate that to you. If you take a little cassette recorder or even your phone and you have an acoustic guitar and electric guitar and you write a song and you're humming along to it, you got a great melody and great songwriting, and you show that to some, record label exec and you show them that song, forget about the quality of it. That songwriting is going to shine through, and that melody and that hook is going to shine through no matter what quality it is. On the other hand of that, okay, you know the old term, you can't polish a turd, right? You could go into Bryan Adams' studio and, infinite amount of tracks and have the world's crappiest song, crappiest songwriting, no melody, no hook, horrible vocals, but sounds amazing as far as quality. It's going to do nothing for you. So what I'm trying to relate is here, don't worry, like go ahead and do your testings and all this kind of stuff. Make sure your audio is somewhat good and your video is somewhat good, that kind of stuff. But just focus on your content, and that's something that I've tried to do for the longest time. And eventually, as I've kind of found our way. Not saying that we know it all because we don't, but as we were finding our way, then we started working on the bells and whistles. But the bells and whistles don't have to come first. People will sit through, different scenarios, even a bad webcam, if they really enjoy the content. So that's my little piece of advice. And I'm open to advice as well, too. So please share advice with me, as we go along here as well, too. Ron Limber is here. Ron's been in the community for quite some time. Not one of our OG people from way back, but Ron's been with us for quite some time. So very, very nice. Brad's a great supporter, saying glad to see the new channel. Okay, we just had another one pop up as well too. Let's scroll to the bottom. I'll come back to that. Jay Monty says, Eric, thanks for checking out my stuff for the upcoming electric. Oh, that's fantastic. Electric Jesus, the story on Striper. Thank you. He says, you rock yourself. Thank you. Let's go backwards again because this is a good way to do it. Mel O'Brien is here. Mel's been with us for a long time. And I'm going to highlight Mel so I can find out my spot where I am. And as I try to get caught up in the chat here, and I think I'm doing actually pretty good tonight with reading the chat because I made a mission on this tonight. I'll come back and we'll talk about the origin story. So Richard D. Little is here. Thanks for all the tips. I'll gladly share more tips with you. Don Shepard is here. Another longtime supporter. Thank you, sir. Coots. Let me see here. Surf Cat Matt was talking to him via Facebook on our Facebook page, which we'll show tonight. Going to show you lots of links tonight, too. Trying to get our name out there a little bit as well, too. Who did I miss? Frank C. Early follower. Yes, you are, Frank. We go way, way back with lots of discussions on EVH guitars and, different gear tips and Kramer guitars and all that kind of cool stuff. Awesome. Chicken Guitars is here. Fantastic supporter of the channel. And we love what she does as well, too. Let me see. Continue on. And if I've missed anybody from the bottom of my heart, I apologize. I really, really do. But I think I've done better than I ever have. Solo's Revenge. Likes the new branding. Cool. Thank you very, very much. I think I've done better tonight than I ever have, except for when I first went live and I had like 3 people watching. It was like Bob, Jimmy, and Johnny were watching, and I could say hello, hello, hello. Then we're done. We didn't have to worry about it, right? And Richard D. Little's coming at you live from Chicago. Thank you for tuning in, Chicago. Appreciate that. Stephen S. is here. Let me see. I think I could be close. Wow, Laguna Palms is here. All right. And let me see here. Yeah, James remembers that pick. All right. You know what? I think I'm... Surf Cat Matt says, good luck with the new show. Thank you so much. All right. Let's jump down to the very bottom, all right? And a couple of new people saying hi as well, too. And I'll come back to the chat again in a little bit and continue on and acknowledge every person that's here that's a great supporter. Just showing up tonight is awesome. Monkey12345, Rocamp56, hey, Eric says, and congratulations. And R2 Santa Frank, EVH Forever, Rocamp 56 says congrats to the new format. Okay, so I am just going, because I'm not going to be monitoring the chat for a couple of minutes, I'm just going to turn off the chat because you know what can happen, right? When, the happy hour is over and some people come out, I don't necessarily want that on the screen, so we'll turn it off just for a second. All right. So that's thank you, Guitar Hack. You're doing great with the chat. We all suffer from that, right? It's not the easiest to get to. So thank you, Guitar Hack. Your support means a lot to me tonight. So let's talk about how this all became. All right, I'm going to keep an eye closely on the time tonight. I'm going to stick to my 90-minute format, and I won't go any later than that. So years ago, I was asked this question over on the Livewires. I was their first guest. I was their inaugural guest on Livewire's show. Brian Stewart and Dave Reese, a great channel. One of many questions they asked me is, what got me into YouTube? And that's a question I love to discuss with many people. They asked me what got me into YouTube, and I would love to have this glorious answer that, this and that and everything. No, it did lead to something else, but the initial thing was just a dumping ground for videos. I've been on YouTube since around 2012. I mean, if you go to our channel and you click on whatever, I think it tells you how long you've been there, but I think it was around 2012. It must have been even before that, I think. Maybe 2010, because our band shut down in 2012. But I was using it just as a dumping ground for videos for the band. Shortly after that, not too long after that, I guess it'd be 3 or 4 years later, this is a nod to other guys in the community doing the YouTube thing. In 2016, very, very early 2016, in Nocturnal Butterfly, Sandra, Butterfly and Ladybug Show, however we want to relate to her, she will comment in a chat. But I was a big fan of Johnny Bean and Dave Nesdall and the gang and Rob Johnson. We've always been in the circle. Rob Johnson and I, Johnny Bean as well too. We've known each other like forever, like literally forever. It's been 25 years or more we've known each other. Obviously, the Van Halen circle brought us together. I think the first way I met Johnny Bean, I was selling a Kramer neck on eBay, when even eBay was kind of a new thing. And lo and behold, August 6, 2012 is the answer. Okay, so there you go. So wow, I must have dumped a bunch of videos to YouTube and then shut the band down, because it wasn't too much after that I finally pulled the plug and the band was done. But, Johnny Bean and I, we knew each other through the Van Halen community. Rob Johnson and I, of course, knew each other way back in 1998. I had at the time one of the arguably biggest Van Halen websites on the planet. There was about three that were the major players in the Van Halen community. We're talking websites back then. A lot of people had websites back then. And if they did, they certainly weren't big websites. There was a Van Halen news desk, not in its capacity that's now. It was long before Jeff Hausman owned it. It was owned by my buddy Grant over in Australia. We had Brad, I forget, Bradman 5150, whatever, he had his website. Now he's the the official web developer of Van Halen's website, which probably gets updated once every 7 years. And then my buddy Bill Broadway, B Cubed, something like that. And so I had a website called Eddie Van Halen's Unchained World, and it was a collection of all Eddie's guitars. I had galleries of all the fan guitars around the world. Pretty much think of like what Facebook is today on a poor man's budget, or, with no advertisement. Well, I guess there's some advertisements, but and it had Van Halen guitar pick collections. All these people from around the world. Lou Kruska submitted the world's largest Eddie Van Halen guitar pick collection, indexed by tours and all that kind of stuff. So that's how all of us guys met, especially Rob Johnson and I. So let's fast forward to around the 2016-ish era. And, a big fan of Johnny Bean and Dave Nesdall doing their thing. And again, like I say, Rob occasionally, but it's more so those guys. And they had me on their show a couple times. And Dave Nesdall himself reached out to me and said, and Dave Nesdall watches the show from time to time. So Dave, if you're watching, I love you, man, and wishing you all the very, very best. But it was, he extended an offer. He said, we would like to have you come on the show and be one of the 3 co-hosts. And I was all excited, very, very excited about this. And I thought, this is great. And literally after that show, it's kind of like always, you do a show, and then after the show, a little bit of discussion after the show. And this is kind of how we always work in the house here. Nocturnal Butterfly's upstairs running her command center up there. I'm down here running command center down here. So thank you, good night, good chat. I ran up there and I'm like, hey, those guys want me to be on their show as a co-host. What do you think? And I'm all excited, right? And not to pop my bubble or, deflate my, woo, be a buzzkill. Okay, not to be a buzzkill. She's like, okay, very, very cool and all, but why? She goes, I love those guys too, but why would you want to be a third wheel, or why would you want to be, just an add-on? Why not do it yourself? And I kind of I think like a lot of times, I think I might have argued with her, but honey. Not that she's cracks a whip. Trust me, it's not that way, but she is always right. And this was no disrespect to them. I mean, just like a lot of things too, like, okay, if you had the opportunity of working and you had a chance to go work in a shop, a store somewhere, yet you might have a lead to open your own store, what would you do, right? It might be 50-50. It might be mixed, mixed things that way. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my own thing. So I didn't really go live right away, but I started producing a couple videos, and it was really bad quality. We all start somewhere. And I had all the amps back here and stuff like that. And really what it was showing people my way to hook up pedals, especially in the Van Halen circle. Like, where do you put your phaser? Where do you put your flanger? Where do you put your wah pedal and things like that, right? And it was called, the very first video was Eddie Van Halen's EVH gear discussion, or something along that lines. Very embarrassing video, but not at the same time, not so much. And at the end, I said, if you enjoy these videos, please comment in the chat, not the chat, but the comments down below, and let me know if you'd like me to continue, if you like this series. And sure enough, a substantial, I'd say 80% or 90% of the comments were very, very positive, saying, yes, we'd like more. So I did one more section of that. Then I thought, let's start doing live. So live, just hanging out on Friday nights. It's always been Friday nights. I might have moved it once or twice, but Friday nights was always my core. And then eventually changed the name from EVH Gear Discussion to EVH Gear TV. And every time there was every time there was a bit of a jump, it was calculated. We're trying something new. And here in Canada, we like to say, or at least in the family, we throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. That does apply sometimes too. It's trial and error, but at the same time, a lot of this is calculated. And that is what we did. We calculated these steps. Okay, now where are we going next? But all this time, there's this underlying tone. Sandra's always saying, Eric, you got to promote your own thing. Okay, this Eddie Van Halen thing is cool. He's great. He's one of the world's greatest, arguably one of the world's greatest guitarists. He's contributed more things to guitar, not just playing, but manufacturing amplifiers, the way we perceive guitars today. Eddie is responsible for that, hands down. But she's like, okay, you got to promote your own thing. You got to promote you. Now, not being cocky, but yeah, she's right. It's one of these things where you got to promote yourself. You bring all the Van Halen content all along with you and have fun with it and rock out on all the riffs and stuff like that. But I just wasn't ready for it. But it was a conversation we had many, many times, time and time again. So then we went from EVH Gear TV. Then we went to our next kind of step was EVH and Gear TV Network. And I still stand behind that move. And people might think, oh man, you're getting cocky saying you're a network. No, we're not a network. We're not funded by all these different, cable companies and all that kind of stuff. But by network, hear me out when I say this, we started offering other shows. 1, 2, 3. We had 3 additional shows to our main Friday show. We introduced a new show called the Helix Hour, which is now, we're going on to our 4th season this weekend. And we're kicking it off with a Who's bassist, which is pretty awesome. So that show's been doing very, very well. And with that show, for those of you that don't know what Helix is, it's a product that does like a modeling, amplifier, and effects modeling all in one unit. And luckily, and kind of by accident, one time I had a famous guest on the show. Well, most of them are famous guests. I had one of them offer presets from their Helix. It was Jeff Schroeder from the Smashing Pumpkins. And that became kind of like, okay, Eric, are you going to do this again? Are you going to do this again? So we have their presets from their tour boards from bassists, guitarists, cellists, on their Helixes. I forget the plural of that. But anyways, their Helix units. They would send us that day of the show, and fans could download their preset, put them in their Helix, and play with their tour rigs. So that got really popular overnight. Then, of course, I brought in Kramer Corner because I rediscovered Kramer guitars about a year ago, become blessed and fortunate to this day to become a Kramer Guitars roster artist. So that's a blessing. And it's nice to be welcomed into that family. So it's the least I can do is to continue to share that love and promote that show. We haven't done a lot with it. This year is going to be a kick in the pants for sure for Kramer Corner. And then we also brought in a 4th show Walking Dead. And that's because I'm a Walking Dead fan. So maybe what we'll do here in a second, we'll explain that. So I'm going to highlight this here. I'm going to highlight where Row Camp was. And let's jump over. I know a lot of you have seen the video. It was just a teaser video. And it was a bit of a clickbait video. But I'm also very glad I did a clickbait video because the same EVH Gear discussion, EVH Gear TV, whatever, is dead. Rest in peace, 2016 to 2019. But I'm glad I did because the people that I really want to stay on the channel, and actually I didn't suffer any loss as far as subscribers. As a matter of fact, we've gained about 25 or 35, probably almost 40 subscribers if I looked at the numbers now. Again, don't worry about numbers, but we did, of course, we're going to watch as we make a big announcement like that. The numbers did go up, and that's all I care about. The people that, were invested in us here remained on because they watched the clickbait video. They got it, they understood it, and here we are, right? So let's have a quick look at the video. I'm going to go over here for a second, and let me see if I have it open here. And there might be an advertisement at this point. Let's have a look. Here we go. All right, and I'm just going to turn up the volume just a little tiny bit. I'm not going to wear headphones tonight, and I am going to play a couple little songs for you later just for fun because I'm in a good mood tonight. But we're not going to be all about music tonight. We'll just play a couple songs for you. But let's jump over here to here. All right, there we go. All right, and let's play this video. And this will explain to you the whole change and everything like that as well too. And we'll have a look. And a lot of you've seen this video already. Well, check out some of the comments. It's been very, very positive. Here we go. Hey everyone, Eric here with a very special announcement, probably one of the biggest ones we've had here on our channel in quite some time. All right, so we're going to jump right into this. It comes with great excitement to announce the following. We are approaching our 4th year on YouTube as a provider of live celebrity interviews, musical instrument demos, and more. We have undergone several changes throughout this time as we attempted to find our way and our own voice here on the YouTube platform. Each change we have made was always calculated and researched, taking into consideration how content would be received by our fans and subscribers. We've learned so much over time and are still learning every single day, but our goal never changes as far as providing a fun entertainment resource. As we plan to enter our 4th year as content creators, the following changes will... This guy talks too much. Emphasize our intent of not only being in this field for the long haul, but we aim to make the content we create better than ever before. Currently, leading up to our announcement here today, we have 4 specialty programming shows on our channel, including EVH Gear TV, The Helix Hour, Kramer Corner, and Rocking Dead. We have always made the conscious effort that if we could not give our 100% best and focus to a particular source of content on our channel, we would have to discontinue it. With that being said, the first announcement is that we will be dropping our show, Rocking Dead, which was a show based around AMC's The Walking Dead. We had several major guests still to come on the program, but with much thought, we have decided to discontinue it. The Helix Hour and Kramer Corner shows will continue to have the same focus and more that we've had to date. And now for the big news. It's pretty major in our opinion. Our YouTube channel is being completely rebranded immediately. EVH and Gear TV is no longer. Moving forward, our channel will be branded Music Gear Network. YouTube will be changing this for us even though we've undergone several changes over the years. Friday night shows, formerly known as EVH and Gear TV, will now be branded Rock Shop Live. Nothing changes as far as our sponsors are concerned. This will be a seamless transition for not only our sponsors, but also our viewers, fans, and subscribers. With the channel now being rebranded as Music Gear Network, it now opens a world of doors of what gear we can openly discuss from A to Z. Will we still have Van Halen content? Yes. But you can expect so much more as well. We invite you to join us for the next long chapter as content creators and hope you can understand why we are making this conscious choice to move in this direction. We can now bring you so much more and are confident you will enjoy our programs. And here's a very important message here as well too for those that had any doubts. We started with rebranding on iTunes and are also now on Spotify, where we can be found as Music Gear Network with over 95 episodes to choose from. Thank you for your support, and we could not be happier to share this with you. And just for the record, before the conspiracy theories start or any internet gossip, we were not asked by anyone to change our name. We were not forced by any means. The change was 100% an effort internally here by us. We stand behind it 100%. We could not be more proud of that decision. So, until next time, on behalf of myself, Sandra Lee, and Eric Jr., all part of the Music Gear Network, we wish you the best, and we will see you on the next show. Cheers. All right, so that being said, let's have a look. Our levels are still good here. Let's have a look at some of the comments just to kind of show, and this was very, very nice to see this. This was one of the fastest videos to hit, 500, 1,000, 2,000 views here other than having guests on the show. And this went pretty fast. Like this went up, on the 14th. So I just want to have a look at some of the comments here. I'm not going to read every single comment, but I want to share some of them with you, which is fantastic. I mean, here again, don't focus on numbers, but, likes to dislike ratio, pretty darn good. I'm very happy with that. Someone that we all admire here, at least a lot of us do in the community, we do here in the family. The Tone King, wishing you the best with the new branding buddy. Garry Holt, a very good friend of mine, makes much more sense with your diversity of content. Island Sounds, can't say I'm surprised with the extensive content you provide. I'm sure great things lay ahead. Official Hugh Rocco, says, I love your channel. No, I love your channel, mate. Thanks for the video, and I see you're still on YouTube, and I'm watching. Johnny Lee, one of our great friends in the UK. Good luck, my dear friend. I'm sure you'll succeed in the amazing adventure. Philip Cockrum, thanks for the update, Eric. Best of luck with future shows. JP, page 2. Awesome, Eric. This is a good move for your channel. You've been going in a direction for a while anyways. JK, House of Harleys, watch it and left you like number 12. Cyber Evil changes good. Fart, I killed noobs. I love that. Thanks for the heads up and happy and excited for you. Rob Groden, congratulations. Looking forward to what's to come in the future. Guitar Hack, congratulations and best for the future, buddy. Sean says good luck with and relaunch and rebrand, guys. Brad Miller, I love it. These shows have always been so much more than just EVH. Keep the great guests coming. Looking forward to see what is next. Rock on, my friend. Joe Hervey says best regards to you and your family. Leon says good luck, you guys. I hope everything is for the best, you guys, in the future. From RC32. Russell Ward, you gave me a heart attack. That's a clickbait thing, right? Mark Taylor, this is a very good decision, Eric. I think it's a smart move. Looking forward to continued high-quality content. From Soda, cheers, Eric, and wish you well in all your new endeavors. A good friend of mine, Jeff, here, Idiot of the Day, says, oh, wow, Eric, looking forward to the future. Sure, I've enjoyed EVH and gear since I've started watching YouTube. Wishing you all the best and can't wait to see the new branding of the channel, my friend. A few more here. Shadow Cruise, glad you dropped The Walking Dead. See, that's good. That's good feedback. Hopefully it will provide more programming availability for the Helix hour. That's the ticket. So cool. Everyone comes in on a different angle, and I'm happy with that. I don't care where they come from as long as they find something interesting and they stay. A few more. Brian's Gate, congrats and best of luck. Now one of those Kramer 84 is coming out. I'll have some of the new Kramers very soon to demo, so stay tuned for that on Kramer Corner. Mickey Giesberg's, another longtime OG fan. That's good. The title had me scared for a minute, but luckily it's rebranding and not an end. Looking forward to the future content. Brett Shaver. Dude, this is awesome, man. Can't wait to see what's coming up next. Keep doing the good stuff. Bobby Clipper, another OG fan and friend. Wishing you and the family the best. Sounds like a million sub name to me. I love that. Sounds like a million sub name to me. I look forward to that day sometime. Couldn't get the big guy before changing. Nope. Could not get Eddie Van Halen. We put the fishing line out there. Eddie Van Halen has had my questions in his hands for about, I'm going to say probably about 2 years. Literally 2 years. And even George Lopez had told him, come on the show. You got to go on that show, whatever. Go back and watch that show. He literally told him to come on the show. And, it's, Eddie Van Halen can't win in the press. In Eddie Van Halen's defense, Van Halen cannot win in the press. They do a press interview tomorrow, they're going to be torn to pieces. The only way I would have ever got Eddie Van Halen on the show is if I did a pre-recorded interview that I could have edited later, sent to him for his people for approval, and sent back to me and uploaded to YouTube. That's the only way it would have happened. So, you know what? It's one of those things where people are saying, you should get Eddie Van Halen. Sure, that would have been awesome. That would have been totally awesome. But I don't beg anybody to come on the show. Not even Eddie Van Halen. I will not beg a guest to come on the show. That's one of the things I said, a little kind of a motto. I won't beg anyone to come on the show. And there has been some guests that, that been troublesome to get. I move on. And other ones that I believe in, I will stay on that. Like Ace Frehley, been working on for about 2 years. He will be coming on the show, but it's been 2 years in the works to get him. And it's because I love Ace Frehley. He's been my hero since I was a kid, my first guitar hero. So you don't give up, right? But I won't beg anyone to come on the show. Let me see here. Keep going. A few more. Fred Siegel. This is great news, Eric. Makes perfect sense. Best of luck and best to Sandra Lee and Eric Jr. George, is it Bader? Or I can't read it. My vision's bad. But George says, best of luck to you, Eric. More open doors means more information passed on to your viewership. Thanks for everything. Old Guys Guitar Vlog. Congrats. Eric, best of luck with awesome new endeavor. Can't wait to see the new channel will offer. And I think I'll stop at these two here. Dale Palmer, great. Dale Palmer is a great friend. I wish you much success in all your endeavors. I know you will continue to provide excellent content as always and continuously strive to make it even better than it already is. And I resent doing this. Much love and respect to you, Eric, Sandra, Nocturnal Butterfly, and Eric Jr. for all your output. Keep on putting out your thoughtful, humble, and awesome content, and myself and many others will follow and grab a bunch of new ones on the way. All right, so there we go. So let's jump back over here for a second. So the support has been phenomenal. It's one of those things where, like you change your name or you change this. It's more than just a changing of a name. It's a change in direction. And some fans were scared. Some fans, oh my God, change. I don't like. Do you remember Garth from Wayne's World? When the show gets bought out by the sponsors and he's down there, making that little robot, whatever. And he's like, I fear change. And he's hitting that hand with the hammer. Well, that's what some people were like. It's like, oh, you're going to do away with the Van Halen content? No. I'm just not focusing. I'm not like these with my blinders like this, looking straightly at Van Halen. Van Halen is so much in my DNA. When I bleed stripes, like literally. Well, not literally, but you know what I'm saying. Van Halen, I cannot escape Van Halen. I pick up a guitar. The first riff I always play is part of Eruption. I can't play it great, but it's the first thing I always go to, and that will be until the day I die. I've worshipped Eddie Van Halen. Like, I don't even want to get on the emotional track of that because it's insane. It's absolutely insane how much I, in a platonic way, I love that man. But it's time to move on. It is still going to be a major, major, major part of the show, but stop focusing on this. Like my vision was like this. It's almost okay. Honestly, here's a good example. See what you're seeing right now in the camera? You're seeing this. There's a lot more in this room, not a ton, but this camera has about a 45 degree angle or so. I don't even know what the webcam has, but I'm going to just say a number. It's 45 degrees on a 180 degree spectrum, right? There's so many more things out there. The photographers like Brian Cote and people like that will appreciate it. You're looking through the lens, depending on the lens that you're using, the viewfinder, and depending on your lens, you see so much. If you're using a 50 millimeter lens or a 35 millimeter lens, you're seeing what the human eye sees. You use like an 11 millimeter lens, you're seeing the world in wide frame, right? And there's a lot of things out there, and we started to realize, thanks to Nocturnal Butterfly, that we got to focus on more than just that. And if you think back, I think you probably saw a lot of this direction. We would have certain guests come on the show that were Van Halen nuts. They knew everything about Van Halen, way more than me in a lot of cases. And so on a 90-minute show, we might spend 65, 70 minutes talking about Van Halen. Or we might spend 5 minutes talking about Van Halen, depending on the guest. But my entry to all these guests coming on the show, because when it was an EVH themed show, I would have them come on, and sometimes they'd be scared saying, and this was another reason too, oh, I don't know anything about Van Halen. Why would you want me on your show? And I'm like, okay, hear me out here, right? I would say, okay, if you don't have the world's greatest knowledge of Van Halen, come on, and here's my what I'm going to say to you, okay? Tell me what you think, or kind of your theory on what Eddie Van Halen did to the world of guitar playing. So you don't have to know a lot about him, but what is your thoughts on what he offered? Now, what are your thoughts on what he contributed to the world of manufacturing? And sometimes even the people that had the least Van Halen knowledge, we would really go out on these really cool tangents. It was very, very cool. But that was the icebreaker to get people on the show. And a lot of people we had on the show were Van Halen nuts. And we, like myself. And that just carried all night long. So, and you can't win or lose as a content creator or as a person in life, period. Whatever you do in your life, it's like you have one person that loves you and one person that hates you. And, I haven't seen these comments come in a lot lately, but I would get comments, oh man, that's all you do is talk about Van Halen. I can't stand hearing this all about Van Halen. Next person comes in and comments, geez, I thought this was an EVH channel. I wish you would talk about Van Halen. I'm like, okay, you two folks here, go in a room and work it out, duke it out, whatever, come to a general consensus, because one person's saying I'm talking too much about Van Halen. The other person says, I don't even talk about Van Halen. So you guys work it out, come back, give me the memo, the action items, and I will table them with the family and we'll act on those. So here we are. We're not dropping Van Halen. Every time I'm going to be playing some guitar, I'm probably going to do some tapping riffs. I'll play some guitar for you tonight before we wrap up. We've still got about 45 minutes here, I think, somewhere around the neighborhood to go. So I'll play a couple songs for you. I'm sure there's going to be some unnecessary tapping and wanking and all kinds of smoke and mirrors, but Van Halen will never go away. And I know a couple of our big supporters are like, oh, I'm going to miss the Van Halen content. No, you're not going to miss any Van Halen content. It's still going to be there, but there's going to be so much more. And as we talked to one of my friends here, James, I mentioned him in the chat from the old radio show, my friend up in Ottawa. We had some great conversations back and forth via Facebook, and we don't always agree. There's times that I might be snotty with him sometimes with opinions, and I think sometimes he's given me opinions maybe I haven't liked. But he said something to me the other day via Facebook message, and he said, dude, I mean, and I won't say his expletives the way he said it, but he's like, the possibilities of the doors now are so open. Now, I just talked to a person the other day as a guest coming on the show, and I won't say who it is yet, but the guest is like, well, I'm looking over your channel. It's pretty much all guitar. It's EVH and this and that. And I'm like, okay, yes, you're right on that. But I said also I've had bassists, keyboardists, cellists, and I, I don't think there's anybody else in other avenues. But I said, not only that though, I said, now with our new format, now anything in rock music, I can interview recording engineers. I can interview producers. I can interview rock journalists. I can interview my friends. I can interview anybody I want. But now the doors are wide open. So here again, remember that 45-degree little of what you're seeing here in the webcam? What you're seeing here in the webcam is what I could do before on our shows. Now we have the wide angle lens again. So now you're going to see a huge drummers. Thank you, Sandra Lee. Mike Portnoy. I mean, and thanks to a friend and fan in the chat, we had Mike Portnoy on the show, and Mike Portnoy is down in his man cave, and a fan says, that's the George Lopez. No, not the George Lopez. Actually, the fan asked that question on George Lopez, but there's on the Mike Portnoy episode, you see the drum kit there from Dream Theater. Of course, he's with Sons of Apollo and 700 other bands right now. But they said, could Mike hop on the kit and play some Van Halen? Mike Portnoy hops on a kit and plays Hot for Teacher. You can see that here on our channel. So we've had a little bit of everybody, but now the gloves are off, the doors are open, we're focused, and seriously, we're cementing ourselves for the future. Are we going to see another name change in the future? I don't think so, but I think Music Gear Network now opens the doors to everything. I mean, literally everything. And now, does that mean I'm a gear whore and I'm going to be looking for a branch over here and that? No, not at all. But if I see something that I think is a great product, I'm going to either demo it or I'm going to have that person on, whether it be a marketing person, technical engineer, a CEO, a president of the company, they will be on the show. It just opens up so many more doors. And I mean, honestly, I've had a lot of good decisions, and I'm not going to take credit for this one. This is not my decision. But at least I'm glad about the decision to follow what Sandra Lee said and do this. And because I'm very stubborn sometimes. I am. And she'll say, you should do this. I'm like, absolutely not. No. But she's always right. And she's been wrong twice, I think. I got it written down somewhere. I think she was wrong in 2014. And I think she was wrong once this year. I'll double check. But I have it written down somewhere. She was wrong twice since I've known her. And I gotta go with my better half, man. She really knows what she's doing. And I think we made the right decision. I really have. This is only day one for us, kind of, and there's a lot of things we wanted to do that just got kind of delayed, but there's going to be more things coming. So we've got new social media profiles and things like that as well, too, and we're going to be continuing on with that. So let's have a quick look, and we'll jump back over to the chat, which I know I've missed a lot, but let's have a look some more some of these social media profiles, and we're trying to, obviously, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I do want to get some love on these profiles and continue the conversation on these different avenues as well, too. So let's jump back over here again. We're going to go over here to, we just launched just the other day, well, I shouldn't say just the other day, but I created a new Music Gear Network Instagram profile. So it's very simple. Music Gear Network, I can refresh the page. I mean, we only have a few followers. We just kind of got it going. But if you could follow us on Instagram, if you're on that platform, again, we will work hard to keep you as a follower and make it interesting. We're not just going to be, sometimes we'll share content on multiple platforms, kind of copy paste. But I do, as a person who works in media, I always profess to keep things different on different platforms, so it's worthwhile to follow you on these different platforms. So we'll make sure we share some exclusivity on Instagram and in these other platforms as well too. So Music Gear Network, if you could light up that follower count, that would be absolutely fantastic. Instagram.com/Music Gear Network. And I'm sure throughout the evening here already as well too. I know I've seen some links in the chat. Sandra's been sharing some links, so she's probably included that one. All right, so our Patreon page, for those that want to, there's several ways you can support our channel here, which kind of reinvest in gear, it also helps because I work from home, and if people want to support the channel, because a lot of these shows, and this is not a guilt thing, and this is not a dry bag or anything of that nature, I'm taking a lot of time away from my day job, which is a blessing because I do work from here. But sometimes there's hours I'm missing over here, and it's nice, it's nice to have some support that way. So these other avenues do support. So there's Patreon. We've had that for quite some time, and a lot of our Patreon supporters are in the chat. There's Sandra Lee has determined these tiers. She's made them very affordable. They've changed over the couple of years, and she's focused on, people don't have a lot of money just to throw away. It's hard to earn money, and we don't want to just take it as a donation. That's not the thing, right? So we have different ways to offer some compensation back. So patreon.com/musicgearnetwork. The old URL is probably null and void now. It used to be evhgeartv. So patreon.com/musicgearnetwork. You can throw in $1. You can throw in a few more bucks and get all my music that people tend to like for some reason. And you can get some helix tips and tricks. You can do video calls with me. You can either just call and talk about, being stressed for the day, or if you want some guitar tips or helix tips, or talk some Van Halen, or just a shoulder to cry on, blah, blah, blah. It's there. And I know several people have taken care of it, and I won't mention any names, but I know a few people who have actually canceled some other Patreon support for other shows and have doubled up on mine. And that's great. They get double what they're supposed to get. So fantastic. So over here, okay, that's obviously the YouTube channel. We don't necessarily need to share that link because we're there. But I guess I may say this. The old URL will cease to exist, youtube.com/evhgeartv. It'll probably be there for a little bit. So if you're on a computer and you bookmark that, it's going to go away. But I'm sure if you search EVH Gear TV, you'll still find me on YouTube. But the YouTube URL now is youtube.com/musicgearnetwork. All right. So we go over to, and for the people that just want to donate, if you don't want any strings attached, you just feel so inclined to, throw out a donation from 50 cents to $1 to whatever it may be. That also, again, helps the channel. PayPal.me/EVH, and this is something I can't change, EVH Gear TV. So Nocturnal or Sandra will throw those links in the chat. Same person, just same link. So I can't change that link. I can't change it. So it's paypal.me/EVH Gear TV. And that's always nice as well, too. I know she shared this as well. And the only thing we have right now in the broadstash.com, the Broadstash Boutique, is as far as Music Gear Network is just a mug. But we've got a lot of other cool stuff. EVH and Gear TV stuff will be discontinued and pulled off soon, probably in the next couple days. So if you want something for nostalgia and want to wear it to support, go for it. But it will be all pulled very, very soon. There's just no sense promoting that anymore. But if you want it, like I say, you want it to buy it for nostalgia, go for it. There's all kinds of cool mustache stuff in here as well, too. Obviously, hence the name Broadstash. All right, so that kind of cool stuff. So we saw the video here. I guess I had two tabs of that open. The big one for us is our Facebook page, facebook.com/Music Gear Network. So a lot of our online properties are /Music Gear Network. Twitter we have, but it's a little bit less friendly, so I'm not sharing the Twitter tonight. Okay, and as Nocturnal mentioned earlier as well, too, we have two different ways to take audio podcasts on the go. And the very first one was iTunes. We were on iTunes before anything else, and we're a big Mac family here and an iOS family here, so we're an Apple family. But I've had a lot of complaints, well, not necessarily complaints, but comments and feedback from people saying, we don't all have iPhones. How can we get your material? So I recently bumped up our episodes on iTunes from 40 episodes to 95. So you can go back and check out everything we've done here on iTunes. They're basically audio versions, cleaned up, edited versions of our live shows. Take them on the go. And of course, now we're on Spotify for those that aren't fans, or you could still be a fan of the iOS, but for people that may be on an Android or other platforms, we've got 92 episodes over on Spotify. So go through and there's some great stuff. Everything from the old EVH and Gear TV show, Helix Hour, Kramer Corner, and even some Walking Dead stuff. So people that still like Walking Dead, there's still a good few episodes on there with some celebrities from the Walking Dead TV show. So there you go. Let's jump back over here to the main screen. All right, we can even throw the chat on here for a second if we want. All right, so let's have a look and continue with that chat. I know I did. I was doing great at the beginning of the show, and I'm keeping an eye on the time because I do want to play a couple songs because I'm in a very good mood and I'm warmed up, so we should have some fun that way. Let's go to the bottom of the chat and come back. And do me a favor, if anyone wants to rewatch this show again later, watch it on half speed, and I will probably sound normal. I can attest that I probably will sound normal. Okay, so Bam Ozzy is here. Scott Roos, let's go back. Walker family. I just want to mention any names I may have missed. Paul Theriault is here. I'm so glad to see Paul Theriault. I love Paul, an amazing guitar player. Walker family saying, Don Shepard, how you been? Good to see you here. No, I'm kind of messed up, but I'm glad to see Eric here this evening. Okay, so James, I'm sorry about my audio going loud and faint. It's probably me, and I am using a condenser tonight as opposed to my normal dynamic microphone, just because I was getting too much. James will appreciate this. I was getting too much hiss because my gain was maxed on that microphone. And I've even taken off a cloud lifter. That's another thing James will know about. It's a device that uses phantom power to add about another 10, 12, 15 dB of clean gain. But I'm electing to use the condenser tonight to give you a better audio representation of no hiss. So hopefully we'll be okay with the audio, but I'm not going to mess with it for now. So far, so good. Continue on here. Paul Theriault, Surfcat Matt, Don Shepard. And yes, for sure. I'll say yes on that one. Just a production note. I have the best producer ever. Checking guitars. Let me see here. Walker family, Gary Tholander. Carlo Santin, there he is. He says, happy Friday, everyone. My internet's down after the city dug up my front lawn. Oh, we've been there, right? We had our internet cut off 3 times in the same day. By that. See you next week. I'm fading away. No problem, Carlo. I always feel you here in spirit, so thank you very, very much. And I see little dots. It's like one of those things, right, on the iOS. I'm just waiting. Okay. Oh, fantastic. Okay, I'm just seeing that Paul signed up for my top tier on Patreon. Thank you so very, very much, Paul. I appreciate that. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Paul Lou, I don't comment often, but really enjoy the channel. Thank you, Paul. And that's the thing. Paul represents probably this other Paul Lou, represents a lot of people here where, we're shy. Well, as individuals, as humans, we're shy sometimes. I'm a very shy person. Off the camera, like you think I don't ever shut up on camera? Turn that camera off, and I'm like a little mouse. I don't talk. I'm quiet. Back in the bar days, I'd be a rock and roller like a rock star on stage. I get off the stage and like chirp, 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 chirp over in the corner. But that's the thing. People sometimes are afraid to jump in the chat and say hi. So if you're new here tonight and you're watching for the first time and you're afraid to jump in that chat, we are a family here. We have some of the internet's best moderators in the chat, starting with Sandra Lee and all of her fine folks. We don't just add people just to give them a wrench so they have a nice blue decoration in the chat. We do it for a reason. And because I don't follow the chat that much, I'm at their mercy. And really, literally at their mercy. And I know when I go live, I can just focus on what I've got to do, and they take care of it. And nothing hardly ever slips through the cracks. So long story short, if you're new, jump in the chat, say hi, and you'll be part of the family before the end of the night. And we will fight to the death for you as well, too. So remember that. Jump in and have some fun with us. Dean Bibb is here. Dean, thank you so very, very much. Let me see. Continue on. I'm going backwards now. I think I might have got just about everybody, and I'm gonna fire up a guitar in a second. And actually, there, Bobby Lopez says yes. EVH name narrowed your audience, and that's the thing too. Maybe I can circle back to that for a second. And I don't think I addressed this. And as much as I love Eddie Van Halen, as much as I love Van Halen, David Lee Roth, Michael Anthony, Sammy Hagar, Gary Sharon, Wolfgang Van Halen. Van Halen, period. I love them, but number one, what are they doing? What are they gonna do? I had so many people saying, "Oh, but I think they're gonna tour. I think they're gonna tour," and I don't want to ever burst that bubble. And I don't know that they're not gonna tour, but in my opinion, I think it's a happy retirement for those guys. I really do, and they've earned it. Eddie Van Halen now has a major corporation that's doing very, very well. Kudos to him. He makes fantastic stuff, but it'd be like me doing a show on the Beatles. Like, what are the Beatles doing right now? No, Paul McCartney's still out there, right? Ringo Starr's still out there. But, right? Like, let's open the doors. If someone comes on, wants to do some great Van Halen discussion, let's do it. But in the meantime, I'm not going to sit on my butt waiting for something from Van Halen to happen to have a great conversation. The days go on, man. So there you go. So thank you on that one, Bobby. Appreciate that. And I think I may have caught up again. James Severin is here. Thank you very much. I didn't mention him. Rock 5150 is here. Great channel. Thanks for all the great information. R2R3. I think I did mention you earlier, but I'm saying you again. Shogun Warrior 74. I've got to get myself an HX Stomp or Helix product of sorts, and you will hear that tonight. You're going to hear some Helix tonight on a couple songs. Jim Dale says, it was interesting that you changed your name from EVH Gear. I've been thinking a lot that I think Eddie has surfed into the sunset. No activity, nothing from Wolfgang Radio Silence. And it is kind of that way. And on the defense of Van Halen is very good when it comes to publicity or lack of publicity because they only say something when it's time. And there's another one of those flies again. Ignore it. But the thing is, I'm trying to go with that is, even though there's hardly anything ever to talk about, when the good news comes out, it's awesome, but it doesn't come out very often. So it leaves us fans wondering what's going on. But mad respect to Van Halen, management, and publicity. It is what it is. MU Collectibles and Toy Reviews. Ask Eric, when are the new 2019 Kramers coming out? Are you seeing them in Canada yet? No. Some stores are taking pre-orders. I'm going to have Aljan back on my show very, very soon over on Kramer Corner, and I'll be asking him about that. But as far as I'm speculating at the moment right now, and it is a speculation, we're looking at possibly September. Yes, I know they did say May, but there's usually good reasons for this. There's no reason to think that they're not coming out. They'll be out soon. I'm thinking we'll probably see them towards the end of next month. But I will get to the bottom of that for you as well. Trust me, I'm waiting for some to come here as well too, to be able to show you some demos as well too. So good question. Okay, I'll just say thank you, Nocturnal. All right. Okay, and let me see here. Chlorine says Music Gear looks awesome. Very, very cool. All right, so I think we can safely jump down to the very bottom once again. All right, and yes. Okay, so I'm doing almost okay tonight. So I'm going to grab a guitar here, and tonight what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to make sure I mute my microphone, but I was playing earlier, and I was using my reference monitors for cues here. Instead of using headphones, I just get such a nice bass response out of my monitors. In case anyone's asking or cares what I'm using using PreSonus Eris E8s, 8-inch active speakers, for my reference monitors. Beautiful, beautiful system. And you can just see off to the left here, some people that follow me closely on Facebook and everything like that, I was in a real dilemma last week. I mean, we literally were just talking about releasing this new name and a big hoopla boom, and that mixer blew up. And it's actually the second one that blew up. I'm not saying anything bad about PreSonus. I do not discourage anyone from buying PreSonus. I still recommend them wholeheartedly, but they were great. They overnighted me once I talked to them. I mean, it took about 2 days before we had the conversation. Once I had the conversation, I had this guy here back the next day, and I've got the other one in a box waiting to go back to them. That's fantastic. So I'm using the PreSonus AR12 USB, a fantastic mixer, and of course my PreSonus Eris E8s. And the reason why I want to play tonight using those, it just gives me the vibe, and I think I'll play better using those. I just got to remember to mute my mic, because when I play, it's going to be loud, and it would feedback like crazy. And Guitar Hack says, play the Les Paul. Liquid's waiting right there. Don Shepard says, Eric, you really, if not more knowledgeable on all the other subjects you've covered over and above EVH. Thank you, Don. Thank you. Bam Ozzy says, I know we've already discussed the changes on the Butterfly and Ladybug show, so I know it's a very positive move. Wish you all the success and happiness for the future. Yeah, I gave them the exclusive news on Wednesday. I'm very proud to do that, and I love those girls, and they're people they have on the show as well, too, who are all friends. We're very good friends in that community. Mark Dillon... that's a good question. Mark Dillon asks, any truth to the rumors of Gibson selling Kramer? I know a couple people right now, personally, that would love to buy Kramer, that probably could buy Kramer, but I have no knowledge of that. And I really, here again, I'll be happy to be, I won't be happy to be proven wrong, actually, but I could be proven wrong. Someone, they might be selling it, but in the bottom of my heart, I have zero belief in that rumor, but I don't know. And I'm always the type of person that will always say, just like when someone says, Eric, do you know what Eddie did on this and that, and blah, 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 and instead of saying, oh yeah, he used a flux capacitor with some green tape, I'm like, I don't know. And I will say I don't know more than I say I know. I'd rather be honest, because I'm still in sales. What am I talking about? I sell websites, right? I build websites. But I mean, in all my years of selling, from furniture to electronics to blah, 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 I would always say, I don't know. I'll ask my colleague. Because if I say, yeah, it does this and does this and does this, the customer always, in most cases, knows more sometimes than the salesperson. And don't look like an idiot. So if you don't know, ask, right? So I don't know on that Kramer rumor. What are my thoughts? The chances of that? 99.9% not true that it would happen. But there you go. And James saying play the Kramer, so maybe I will as well too. So let me see, where is the Kramer? It's back there. Okay, so we need the Kramer, and I'll do the Kramer as well too for Guitar Hack as well too, and for James, because Guitar Hack is looking at some guitars with Floyd's, and I'm so happy to hear that. So that'll be a nice little treat for him as well too. And chicken guitars do not pass theory as fact, and definitions each are frames on my husband's office walk. There you go. Very, very office wall, probably, she's saying, I bet you. Okay, so we're at 10:06. We're doing good for time. And I got that, chick. I realized that was probably a typo, and I totally understood that. So the very good quote. Okay, so I think what we'll do is I'll go grab the Les Paul first, and I'll get the Kramer within arm's reach here as well too, because we'll have some fun with that baby. Now, I didn't tune the Kramer before we went live. I'm pretty confident with the Floyd and that. I did tune the Gibson, so we'll be ready to go with that one as well. Oh, R2, I know where you're going. You guys want the Floyd. We'll start off with the Gibson to warm up. How about that? All right, we'll do a little bit of both here. And what I'll do in a second as well, too, is I'll go to another screen here without some overlays. We'll get rid of the chat as well, too. And you guys and girls can see the see the guitar a little bit better as well, too. So this is going to be fun. I am going to whale my monitors here. And again, if I don't shut off my microphone, it'll be squealing like you've never heard squeals before. All right. So how about we start off with maybe with like the stripper song. So I'm gonna just put the volume on just a little bit for a second. So we have some tone. Perfect timing. Mark Taylor's here, just in time for the stripper song. Okay, so here we go, all right? I'm going to cue up a song here. This is a song called Fantasy, but a lot of my diehard friends and fans know this as a stripper song. All right, so I'll get the microphone out of the way. Let's jump over to another screen here. I think we have it here. There we go. That's a little bit better, right? All right, turn off the microphone. And so those of you that are just tuning in, we're going to do a couple songs here, and if you're new, just watching now, go back. There's lots of history and discovery of the channel and how we've made all these changes. But number one, first and foremost, I would not be doing this tonight if it wasn't for these awesome, awesome people that are here, every single one of you. And even the ones that aren't in the chat, I know there's a few of them. There's probably a handful that are just too afraid to say hi. Or even if you're here and you're a hater and a lurker and you don't want to say hi, we love you too, man. I mean, if you hate, we've actually had this happen before. We've had some haters turn into fans. If there's something you don't like about us, you're entitled to your opinion. And I say us, we're a family, right? But the family is behind this content. So if you don't like us, you don't like the family, whatever it may be, let us know why, right? And maybe we're still not going to win you over. But, looking forward to maybe turning in a hater into a possible fan too. So no offense if you don't like what we do, but we love what we do and we love you guys and girls. So we're just here for the fun of this, and we're here for the long haul. That's why with this new name, Music Gear Network, we're here to stay. I hope that is maybe clear by this point. Okay, so let's get this microphone out of the way. Let's have some fun, all right? Rock and roll. I just had a brief Windows 10 on my other computer lockup. Here we go. Try this again. I forgot to turn the laptop on, so I'm running my Windows 10 laptop into my mixer, which goes back off to my Mac, which goes off to YouTube. So here we go. Let's try this again. All right, we got it this time. All right, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I think maybe what we'll do is we'll keep the Les Paul for maybe 1 or 2 more songs. We'll keep an eye on the time as well, too. Aljan Go is here. Thank you, buddy. I love you, brother. I love you. Happy to be playing the Gibson family of brands here tonight. Gibson, of course. Kramer, thanks for a request a moment ago. So we're going to drop this down to, Sean Pierce Johnson is here as well, too. Thank you, Sean. All right, we're rocking it out tonight. We're having fun. We're celebrating a whole new breath of life here on the channel. Music Gear Network is here to stay. It's a parent channel of now 3 shows. Music Gear Network is not a show. Music Gear Network is a channel. We have Rock Shop Live, which you're watching tonight. We have Helix Hour on Sundays, which we're kicking off season 4 with John Button from The Who this Sunday. And of course, Kramer Corner on Tuesdays. So we're going to jump over. We're going to drop this down a little bit. I'm going to mute this for a sec because you can still hear this. I did break out a sweat. Oh, yeah. I broke out a sweat. All right. Speaking of which, we need... there we go. You want to see rock out? We're going to rock out right now. We're going to rock out to a song called Runaway. Let's see what we got here. 1 sec. I'm going to bring the volume up just a little bit, then I'm going to mute my mic. Where are we at? Helix Rack? We're good? I'll turn the volume on to help. Because Les Paul's hard to leave my hands. All right, here we go. We're going to crank this I almost really swore, but we're going to crank this up. I'm in such a good mood tonight. Things are slipping a little bit. All right, here we go. Mute the mic. All right, who wants some Kramer? Who wants a Kramer guitar now? All right, this is fantastic. We're keeping an eye on the time, 10:23. We may go a couple minutes over. I don't want to go too late because I know Nocturnal is very tired. She was very up very early. James wants me to play Eruption in its entirety. I'm going to plead the fifth on that one tonight because I'm doing so well right now as far as my personal opinion that I know if I attempt Eruption, I'm going to destroy it. And because of, and I'm sorry, James, I won't do it tonight. Because we're kind of moving away a little bit from 100% Van Halen activity, let's just have some fun with our own stuff tonight. And I maybe I'll embellish a couple tapping riffs or something. I don't know, possibly. We'll see. But let's grab the Kramer right now. All right, so let's grab the Kramer. And I know R3 is happy. Romeo Delight 90 is here. Rock 5150, love to hear you play. Dirty Movies off Fair One. That'd be awesome to see what the Helix will do. I'll maybe do that again. I'll do some of the Van Halen stuff on another show, or maybe just a little video, upload it. But no, let's grab some Kramer here. And I didn't even check the tuning. I did the Gibson before we went live, and I just bitch slapped this baby, and she stayed in tune. I love this guitar. I love it. And it is hotter than Hades in here tonight, but it's good. All right. I almost know if I hit a chord on this thing, it's going to be in tune right now. I really do. I think I'm not even going to check my tuning. I'm that confident that we're in tune. So the Kramer Pacer, Vintage Pacer Deluxe 2015 edition, I think this baby is. All right, D tuner on it. So you know what? Let's drop her down to D. And this is how confident I am with my tuning. Now watch me be proven wrong here. But we're going to jump over to the Silence album. And let's play some Silence. Literally, let's play Silence. All right? So here we go. Mute my microphone. Take a cold drink.
I've had all I can handle, way up high on the mantle. Have we seen enough to never seem to feel what's come to be? And it feels like we're think
And there you go. There's a little bit of Kramer for you. We won't do too much longer. I don't want to keep people too much longer, but someone asked me, who asked me about the Shaler tuners or something like that, strap locks. Oh yeah, Romeo Delight, does your Kramer have Shaler strap locks? You know, every guitar in the house other than the Les Paul and a couple other guitars have Shaler strap locks, like these guys. Do I still have one somewhere here? Yeah, these guys, right? Is what you're talking about? I stopped using them because I started using this other product called Strap Tight. Bill Lonero is using those things. That's actually his company. He's kind of developed these things. Joe Satriani is endorsing them and things like that as well too. So I started using those. So you can use your original straps pins on all your guitars. So you don't have to damage your guitar, because when you put in those Shaler ones, you're replacing the screw. And as we've all seen, I know I have myself many times in my years, they come loose. You got to put some toothpicks in there, some glue, and put the screw back in. So don't damage your guitar. Keep the original strap pins that are on there and use these other ones called Strap Tight. And basically, your strap goes on, and this round thing goes around. They have original ones that look like a bread tie. I think I probably still have some of those. I don't use those ones. Here they are. So yeah, Strap Tight. Here they are. Those are ones that look like a bread tie. Joe Satriani endorses them, but now they have a round type that are very flexible, call them a polymer material. They go over the strap, and you can't pull that strap off no matter what. So very, very cool. So that's what I use. I know Guitar Hack, I turned him onto those, and he loves them as well too. I want to just check something for a minute. It sounded like I had some clean tone coming through my distortion tone too. So give me one quick second. I'm going to mute my microphone. I just need to check an audio level here. One sec. Okay, we're totally fine. I thought I was hearing some clean tone, like basically a USB unprocessed tone. And Gary Tholner's asking, do I have the Floyd flush against the body or floating? This guitar comes from the factory floating, and I really did enjoy it. However, I've switched it now to be flush against the body. As you can see, try to show it here. There we go. It doesn't. You probably can't see the best of it there, but it's flush against the body. And yep, we got that question from Gary. All right, what can I else play for you here? Actually, I saw who said this. James asked for In the Sun. All right, so that's another fun one. Okay. I'll put no problems. Okay, so we're going to try a song called In the Sun. All right, we'll rock this one up, and it's a fun, easy song. All right, here we go. And no problem there, Rock 5150.
Grant us the will to escape.
All right, so I'm going to do two last ones here for you. I know Nocturnal is so tired. She's had a very, very long day. I'm just going to say, checking out. That's two. All right, so here we are. We're going to do two last songs for you and wrap up. So I want to thank everybody for being part of this new launch. Music Gear Network is a great new opportunity for us here, covering all types of gear. Rock Shop Live now replaces the Friday night EVH and Gear TV shows. Helix Hour continues 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific on Sundays. John Button from The Who is joining us this Sunday. And Kramer Corners, 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific on Tuesdays. All right, so we're going to have some fun here with two last songs here. I know Brad Miller enjoys this one here. This is a song called... what is this song called again? Pass You By. I can't believe I forgot the name of the song. One of my favorite songs that we've ever written. All right, here we go. All right, Pass You By. Here we go. Let's kill the vocal microphone. All right, this is the last one. I wanted to wrap it up at 10:30. We're just 5 minutes late here. Actually, we're 15 minutes late, but this is the last song for you. This is a song called Loaded Gun. So do me a favor, please check all those links that are in the live chat here, the side chat, and all the links down below as well, too. If there's ways you want to support the channel, there's PayPal, there's our Patreon, which we've got some new Patreons tonight. All that cool stuff. Show us some love on Instagram, instagram.com/musicgearnetwork, facebook.com/musicgearnetwork. And we're going to have lots of fun together in the coming days, weeks, and months. And this is all because of you guys and girls. Thank you so very much for making our dreams come true. And we're going to keep pushing forward and working very, very hard. And if you're new tonight, hit that subscribe button. Do it right now. Turn on post notifications. And I swear to you, my oath to you is I will continue to work hard to keep you coming back and make it worthwhile for subscribing. I changed my whole shtick a little bit, but long story short, I'm interviewing for the job every single night. All right, here's a song called Loaded Gun, and I'm not even going to say goodbye after this. We're going to jump off the air and let you guys get to your weekend and have a fantastic, safe, and fun weekend. All right, here we go. Thanks so much, everybody.
Hey, you're still here? Eric Jr. here, reminding you to check out our full lineup of quality merch. Available right now in the Broadstash Boutique. Quality products and fast shipping. Visit broadstash.com today.
Video production services for Rock Shop Live are provided by Design 39 Media. Visit design39media.com for all your website, photography, and video production needs. Microphones for Rock Shop Live are provided by Rode Microphones.